Hey, what's going on now, YouTube?
What's up, y'all?
Hey, we're back. It's 2015 and it's a brand new day for TV series. We're doing a TV review today of the show. It's back. Gotham is January the 5th. And
Tell them
yeah.
about it, Sam. Tell them about it.
The name of the episode is Rogues Gallery. I'm gonna read the synopsis for you. That's the best thing I can do. Detective Gordon's assignment at Arkham Asylum gets off to a rocky start when the murder of a guard ignites an investigation, leading him to meet Dr. Leslie Thompkins. Meanwhile, Cobblepot continues to build his army. Now, this episode is crazy, y'all. I didn't expect it to start off in the way that it did, but from just the opening, when they open up to showing how Arkham is and just the psychological imbalance of most of the people that are there, you see that Gordon is not afraid of any situation that he's in. It's like he can make it his own and he's not afraid to back down, but at the same time I was like looking, I was like, man, all these people are around him, this is a dangerous place. And so they start off with like a regular opening play. And then the music starts and somebody starts to sing and you start to see all the different people where they're at. Even Cobblepot, when you're looking at what Maroni is doing, what Penguin's doing, and then it goes full circle. It was a really good opening to the series because it starts off with that song, then just for somebody to freak out and punch the guy that's actually singing, to almost killing him to death. And it was crazy because I was looking at it, I was like, man, what in the world is about to go down? And sure enough, before the opening credits even happen, there's a murder. And this is inside of the asylum. And so the thing that I liked about this, they captured the essence of Arkham. When we know Arkham, we know it to be lunatic, psychopaths, some of the most dangerous villains in the world are going to be kept in Arkham Asylum. And so when they were talking about like everything being centered around Arkham, it's like, I think now it's almost like Arkham is a focal point for where evil is going to be birthed out of it. And by the end of the episode, you see exactly that. Some evil that's actually coming out in the form of a person. And so, there was a lot that went down in it, Joe. What was one of your favorite things, I guess, about the episode?
Definitely with, this...
Leslie Thomkpins.
Definitely with, like, the season come back out and the show coming back up. One thing you see is, like, the new developments. And they start that off right off the gate. You definitely see the new developments that are taking place, especially one thing that was really cool to see was Gordon's relationship, or his used to be relationship, with his girlfriend or fiance. Mm-hmm. So that takes a turn and you get to see kind of like what's going to take place, and that happened. Also what's going to take place, with the Penguin. Yeah. And on that side, and the crime and the plot to take out, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Outcome. So
that's interesting you're talking about the girlfriend, because in this episode the last episode that kind of came out and you find out she was cheating on Gordon with Montoya and that she just leaves him and all this kind of stuff, you're like, why would somebody do something? Like I had this taste for her. I was like, man, they're tearing this character apart. I didn't understand. But you find out that there's a key element to this that I didn't realize about what Barbara's doing and her motivations behind what she's doing. And it has to do with the self-worth thing, but at the same time, if you remember in the beginning of the episode beginning of the season, when they were talking about a substance abuse issue, that plays a role into all of it, which I never thought was even part of it. And I think that they needed to add that sort of touch because it shows her imbalances and the fact that the stress that's around her and with the city, she really is not tolerant of it, or she's not strong enough to take it. She's a strong-willed person, but like she has so many faults and pitfalls that you don't even realize. And substance abuse, in addition to like cheating, plays a factor in it. But you're right. Even with Cobblepot, you get introduced to a point where Cobblepot is he's kind of like pressing his territory in a sense. And when he's trying to go to the loading dock, something happens. And he thinks that he's going to get away scotch-free, but he doesn't. And you find out that he kind of, in a sense, really gets set up by something. And how that all plays out, it shows, like, how do I put it? He's not the person you need to cross. No matter if you're low on the totem pole or high on the totem pole, whenever you make this man mad, I feel like the way he acts so well is when stuff is bad happening to him, I can tell in his look that he's plotting. Okay, that person did this to me. This person called me this. This person did this to me. Okay, I got y'all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play the game right now. I'm gonna get this right now. But watch, because I mean we've seen it. We've seen from the first episode he got shot off of nothing and then came back to build an empire and has his hands in everything. So I mean, if that took like days, you can only imagine what he's already truly plotting. It's really great cinematography, but at the same time, it's really good acting on the guy. I think was his name Robin. Is playing the role of Cobblepot. One thing that surprised me in this episode was Butch.
Yeah, definitely.
The guy that plays Butch in this one, like there's something that happens in this, and he interacts with the person that he's known for years, and the person actually is a big part of the organization that you don't know. And the crazy thing about it is that you have no idea if Butch is leaning towards dumping fish, or if she's like trying to, you won't know until the end of the episode what his real motivations are, but you're gonna tell that this is a strong character. For her to have somebody like this to this caliber, it says something about her. And me and Joe were like, wait, where did she get this guy? Because he's not a force to be really trifled with. Like, I didn't even expect it. So I like that they're adding on to characters you wouldn't expect. But more than anything, we haven't talked about is the main story arc. So the main story arc, you got Gordon in the cells, and he's trying to figure out like what happened and who's the person, why the person killing this person in this way. Because the person is found dead with electrodes, look like they've been shot in the person's brain, but in the wrong way. So it's not electroshock therapy, but in a sense, it's really torture. And so you find out that there's a killer because it happens again and again. And it's bad because you got the best detective in Gotham in there, but he doesn't have any of his resources, and he's got, I think, what was his name, Dr. Lang, that's really pushing against him, and it's really underneath the guard, in my opinion. He's working with the mayor to try to get him fired completely. And so he has everything against him, but here comes Leslie Thomkpins. This woman is beautiful. She actually does a role in The Flash also. If y'all know the doctor in that one, when he goes into his rooms, the AI simulation, he's actually doing the voice for that as well. But she plays a good character because you see that she's got a lot of strengths, and at the same time she's got a lot of good motivations, whereas Barbara is not equipped to send Gordon in the way that he needs to go. It seems like this doctor she might be the person up for the grabs, which is messed up because Gordon is already engaged. But yet, it feels like some of the things that she said to him at one point, she's like, "You're admirable." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Why? Because I'm stuck here and I'm still doing this." He's like, "No, because you're not quitting. Because no matter what, you're not going to stop." And that is admirable. And I mean, to make a statement like that, that's what he needed. He needed that self-motivation. One of the things that he doesn't know is that I think there was a point when she was in danger. And he was vulnerable because she was in danger. So I'm interested to see how that's going to play out a little bit later on, especially being in the asylum, because this is a dangerous place. But after the end of this episode, you're going to see that Gordon's going to have to go outside because there is a force of evil by the name of Gruber, which I think there's somebody else. I can't say who I think it is, but the all I can say, it's a good villain. It's a good beginning of what might be a great villain as far as I'm concerned. So we're gonna see how that all plays out. But yeah, it was so much. I mean, I went through a lot, but it's even stuff that I missed out on because one of the things I thought about was the fact that Selina Kyle, she helps out Poison Ivy in this episode, and like normally Kat, she just does her own thing, you know what I'm saying? Like she doesn't have a care in the world. But I feel like her interactions with Bruce are creating a moral compass in her mind that, okay, well, this person is down, should I help him? You know what I'm saying? I think that since interacting with Bruce, it's moving light within to her. And I think the way that she interacted with Poison Ivy was really good. But the way that the girl that plays Ivy in this one, way her story arc plays out, it's going to be really interesting. It's really interesting stuff. I can't wait for the next episode. But yeah, I mean, I think that's everything. We kind of went over everything. Anything else you can think of?
Nah, that's about it. One thing that I was thinking about while watching that episode was like, the hired hit that was on Selina Kyle. I want to see like, cause you know, like the contract killer that was after her, you know, you don't really know what happened to her. I want to know, you know what I'm saying, what happened to her.
Yeah.
You know, and is she still at large?
Ooh, that's one thing. The first time you see Kat in this episode, which I didn't think about, she was in a cage.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever seen her in a cage. You know what I'm saying? It's like, metaphorically speaking, having a cat in a cage, they do not like that. That means that they're trying to hide from something. But at the same time, she came out, not just to help herself, but to really help out Ivy. So, I think you're right. Like, is she on the run still?
Yeah.
Like, is she ducking? Or has she always been on the run? Who is her parents? We don't know. Where was Riddler? The Black Chief came back into this episode like she was there. It's, I mean, oh, okay. To end it off. I mean, definitely Butch was a high note. Penguin is a high note. The new villain that's going to be spurned out of Arkham is a serious high note because it's going to be leading to the next episode, which I can't wait for. Fortunately, it comes out 2 weeks from now. But Gordon and Bullock as a team are just hilarious. when they were like teaming up together to try to psychoanalyze the Dr. Lang out of a situation, just their chemistry together, I've missed it. I didn't realize how much I really missed their chemistry. They work great together, and even just by themselves, they work good. But it's like they're working together at all points. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like from the first episode, like they couldn't stand each other, but you find out they have the same ideals. To now, they are the perfect team.
They definitely bring the best out of one another.
Yeah.
To say the least.
It's just interesting to watch. Good television. But yeah, that concludes our review for brand new episode of Gotham. Yeah. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. If you have any comments, please leave your comments below. Hopefully we didn't spell anything. I'm sorry if we did. And yeah, that's all.
That's it.
All right, SEL0320 signing out.
Johnson.
Later, everybody. Woo, Batman, baby. Woo, 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 woo.